being alleged. That's the word. No one's told me what they're saying that I did wrong.
But they've alleged that you gave someone a ride to the roof of City Hall.
What's wrong with that?
I think it's more in regards to the circumstances that have been rumored to be surrounding the individual you took to the roof and why you did it. But again, that's all speculative. That means nothing to me. So, again, I'll just ask, Ms. Toussaint, if you could tell me what happened in that situation. We can clear things up.
Robin.
Give me 1 moment to just double check something.
I'm going to play it nice.
You can speak to what you remember, but if you do not remember something, then do not speculate, as that would just muddy the waters.
Honestly, I agree with Robin here. Less speculation, the better.
I was on duty. I'm air certed. I'm allowed to take the helicopter out. I don't really see what the problem is, to be honest.
Okay. So did you give someone a ride in your helicopter? Or the helicopter, sorry?
Are you asking about a specific time or just any time throughout that day?
Okay, I'll ask some more specific questions to make it easier. At that specific time, did you give someone a ride to the roof of City Hall?
I still just don't understand why that needs to be investigated. It's not restricted airspace, is it?
No, it's not restricted airspace, no.
No, and I'm certified to have life flight out, no?
Yeah. Again, I'm not here to be accusatory in nature or anything like that. I'm just trying to find out what happened.
You may speak to one singular instance, as one singular instance is not enough for the alleged ACR or impeachment that was put on the docket. ACRs or impeachments need to have a continuous pattern of gross misconduct or negligence or corruption. One instance is definitionally not a pattern.
He's not wrong.
Yes. I did give someone a ride, which is within my purview.
Yeah, I agree. Who was it you gave a ride to?
Do not have to say that if you do not wish to.
A friend.
A friend? Okay. What's your friend's name?
I would prefer not to.
Okay. And did they ask you to give him a ride, or did you offer?
Same advice as before.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm very jumpy right now. Might be a bounty on my head, and I know that cops aren't going to collect on it, but footsteps are making me anxious. What was the question again?
I said, well, Robbie not advise you not to answer. You're not answering the question about did you offer or did they ask?
Oh yeah, I'm not answering that question.
Okay. Why did you bring them up to the roof?
Hmm.
I would recommend. I trust you to know what could and couldn't be used against you depending on what you answer. And if you believe that your answer may incriminate you, you have the right to remain silent.
Problem is, I don't think I can answer this question without answering the last question in some way, shape, or form.
That is also true.
Let me think for a second.
It just got so cold in my office. Fuck, man.
Do you ever want to see if you can do something just to see if you're good enough to do it?
I mean, yeah, sure. Occasionally.
Yeah. There's your answer.
So you flew it up there just to see if you could do it?
Is that roof real? I can tell you the hospital one's not.
What do you mean is the roof real?
Ever been to the Plato Zone?
The who?
Oh man, I don't know if it's.
Play-Doh, not Plato like the philosopher, Play-Doh, like the
Oh
children's
yeah, there's no allegory of a
modeling
cave
clay.
here. You ever been so high up on a building that the lack of
Everything looks like
oxygen makes you feel like
marshmallows.
everything looks like marshmallows even when you land?
Is this a drug thing? Like, I don't do drugs, guys.
No, it's
Do you go in
it's
there
an
what?
altitude thing.
Yeah, wait, do you ever go up in the heli?
Yeah.
The hospital roof, right? Big roof, the top bit. It's high enough up that you start to get a little, you know, not full sickness, but like altitude wheezies, like queasies, right? And sometimes that can cause hallucinations and you feel like everything's Play-Doh-y, right? It's like you take enough Benadryl, you see the Hat Man.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, the roof's not real, right? There's a roof where the stairs aren't real. They look like stairs, but when you step on them, they just crumble like paper, right? There's a roof like that up there.
Heard they have those in prison too.
Yeah. This one's right next to the casino. This one, lower than Maze Bank Tower. But is the city hall roof real? I can confirm it's a real roof. No altitude sickness up there.
Okay.
No paper stairs.
I mean, good, I guess. So the reason you flew up there on the 18th was to see if the roof was real?
Well, it sounds crazy when you put it that way, but it's like the colloquial way to refer to it, you know?
Richard, I think we both know there are many things in this city that said to someone outside of here may sound ridiculous, but we both know that there's a certain reality of where we live.
Sure, I guess, yeah. And
Do you ever watch a doctor attach someone's head and then they just walk out, no even ICU?
right, okay. So the friend that you brought with you, you were just bringing them to see if the roof was real.
I'm not gonna answer any questions as to what my friend was doing. Ask them yourself.
Why did you leave him there? He was left there for a long time, too. So that's why I'm asking.
Have you spoken to him?
Not yet.
Sounds like a great question for him. Why he wanted to stay up there.
Why you don't mind me asking, Chief? Why you so worried there? You seem pretty on edge.
I've been told people are looking for me to shoot me.
Why would they be doing that?
Why does anyone do anything in this fucking city? You look at someone wrong and they shoot you. Why did I get shot because I made the I got shot, Richard, because I made the crime of letting a boy who was in a gang be my friend, and when he left that gang and they shot him in the head, I gave him a fucking job and a home and I got shot for it. Why does anyone do anything in this fucking city?
You're not wrong. People are pretty aggressive, pretty angry. But nonetheless, they mostly, even if we disagree in it, have a reason. So why do you think people are coming after you now?
Don't know. Suppose I'll find out when they pull up to me and force me in the car and put a bullet in my head.
And they could do the classic of putting you in the ocean so they'll teach you a lesson you'll never remember.
I love it when someone gets taught a lesson they quickly forget.
You have no idea why they might be after you?
Don't really suppose it's my business to know. I'll find out when they put the fucking bullet in me, won't I?
When you got back to the hospital after the flight, did you have any confrontations with anybody? Yeah.
Why don't you ask her?
I'm asking you, Chief.
I have nothing to say about anything that might have happened in that conversation because I'm not trying to catch a fast bullet in the head. It's not that I don't want to talk about that. It's that I can't. I'm not
To
getting
translate, she's using her right to remain silent.
Okay, so just to clarify, you took out Lifeline, threw a friend up to the roof. You were doing it because you want to see if the roof is real. But you won't tell me who the friend is. And then you had a confrontation with somebody who was female, but you won't tell me who that is and what it was about.
I like living.
I suppose perhaps to clarify and make it sound a bit less crazy, instead of saying to see if the roof was real, to see if the roof was stable enough to hold a person. How about that?
Yeah, colloquially called real, but yeah, that's a better way to describe it.
Okay, did you get out the helicopter on the roof of the building?
No.
I mean, I'm sure if it could support a helicopter, it could support a person, you know?
Also, if it couldn't support a person or something was paper, the only person with keys to the helicopter is not the person that should be testing it. Then how you supposed to get back to the heli back to for scooping?
Oh, okay. So you're suggesting that the person you brought up was there to test the stability of the roof?
I can only speak for why I was there. To do otherwise is, what's the word, speculatory?
Sure, but you brought someone up to the roof with you.
Am I not allowed to have friends?
Nobody's saying that. It's more about, why that happened. That's in question. I need to know the name of the person that you brought up to the roof, Chief.
However, Mr. Son, you do not need to answer that.
Well, the issue is that what that person did that was felony trespassing.
Is it?
That's
I mean, do you want to read the definition out loud, Robin?
I'd love to see you articulate that one, Richard. Enters knowingly and/or remains unlawfully in or upon secure sections in government property or facilities, without permission or the right to do so.
How the fuck is open rooftop secure? Every gang in the city has a helicopter.
I
It's
believe
absolutely a
gangs
secure section
essentially
of City Hall.
secure. It's open to the air, Richard.
Oh, so they should just leave it open to every Bob and Fanny with a helicopter to land on the roof?
I think if that's what you want to articulate, you should write a bill and get felony trespassing changed.
I'm investigating the individual that you dropped off on that roof for felony trespassing. Do I need the name of that individual?
Like I said, Mr. Son, you don't need to answer that.
I'm not gonna answer anything like that. I've seen cops sell out people.
I've seen cops hunt people.
I've seen oh, I know. Who do you think fucking pronounced him dead? I have seen subpoenas and witness statements unsealed, released. I have had 2 separate officers snitch on EMS to a gang because the EMS called 911 for them to tell them where their missing 95 was or the person they were looking for was. As much as I'd love to cooperate, there isn't a history of PD cooperating back. Field Director Dark.
Yeah. Another example is Mr. Langbuda giving testimony, or not testimony, giving information in interrogation, and was told it would be sealed, and perhaps he pled guilty on that fact. That may invalidate his entire conviction.
Luke Rue is missing an eye because a cop fucking snitched on EMS snitching.
You've got people like Denzel Shiesty coming back and getting a slap on the wrist and getting his job back. The faith is, let's just say it seems Miss Toussaint is more of an atheist in that regard.
Sure. But nonetheless, it's very clear from Miss Toussaint's answers here that she's very well aware of who she took to that roof. And that's a problem, because I need to know that name.
They didn't commit a crime, Doc.
Yes, they did.
Felony trespassing for landing on a roof open to anyone.
We're not on about any roof robbing, we're on about City Hall. Now, listen, I don't want to go down this road. You're forcing my hand a little bit. What I need here is cooperation. And I'm not getting it right now.
I don't trust you to keep me safe if I said a single thing to you. The last marshal I talked to let a gang get away with shooting 3 EMS because while we were in a coma, instead of talking to the other people who were there and the officer who watched it happen in his RC car, they believed the raiders crying that EMS shot first. And I went and sat in interrogation, and so did Flynn, and we talked about how they had been threatening us, and we pointed to all the reports, and I said, here, subpoena my phone, I give you permission, look at exactly this stuff and for exactly this, and he never did any of it. And they got away with it. I don't trust you guys. You're asking me to put my life in your hands, and I don't know you like that. Do you understand how serious of what you're asking is?
I think I am, yeah. Just like I think you're very well aware of the seriousness of the situation that you're in because of what you did. This is a very serious situation that has escalated.
By who?
In what regards, Robin? Are we talking about the gang that wants to kill
Who's escalated
EMS?
it? Who's pressuring EMS and Sama to do this? Are they bending to the whim of a gang? Is that what's happening? Are EMS threatening to walk out? The people who are apparently dedicated to saving lives, but at one whiff of maybe something went wrong, they would rather not save those lives and walk out and do something else?
Robin, your opinions, any of our opinions on EMS in this room are completely irrelevant.
Mine's not. I'm still the goddamn chief.
So what's your opinion then, Chief?
Who escalated it out?
Robin, can you please let your client answer the question?
Who escalated it? Field Marshal, Field Director. Who's escalating it? Because
My
I'm sure
opinion
not
is
fucking escalating
irrelevant.
Nothing. No, you're stating it factually. You're saying someone's escalating it. Who?
The situation has escalated, yes.
And whose fault is that?
Again, you're asking for an opinion that I'm not going to give. I'm an unbiased party who's investigating the situation. I'm not the right person to be getting agitated, though.
You're the only one in front of us, Doc.
Because I'm doing my job. Just like you. Mr. Toussaint, I think you're aware, because from what I've heard, that not a lot of people have seen you. You haven't been on duty. You're acting a bit paranoid, if you don't mind me saying, that you're aware of the severity of the situation. I don't know, have you received threats personally?
Not yet. Well, never mind. I will strike that back, actually. I have.
From who?
Again, that's snitching, and I'm not snitching. But I'm sure you're very smart and you can figure it out. I don't want to die.
I understand that ADMC... Hello?
Oh, sorry.
It's alright. ADMC aren't very happy. And I've seen that on Twitter where an individual was, I guess, taunting you in some manner. And I
didn't see
remember.
that. Can I have that?
I don't know whether I photographed it, but it was Shang Liu asking for you by night.
Oh, I missed that, I guess.
But regardless, you're definitely keeping your head low because of the opinion of ADMC. So I'm going to ask you directly, why do you think they are upset with you?
Keeping my head low because I had a falling out with someone who I considered to be important to me, and heaven forbid a girl takes some time to deal with that emotionally.
Okay. Why
it's
you...
personal and not involved with all the rest of this.
Why was Nana Banana upset with you that day?
You do not have to answer if it might incriminate you.
It won't incriminate me, but it's really fucking personal, and I'd rather not talk about it.
Was she upset that you dropped Seamus McCarthy on the roof of City Hall?
Next question.
Was it Seamus McCarthy you dropped on the roof?
Next question.
Are you and Seamus romantically involved?
No, he's fucking married.
think that was a pretty clear answer.
Oh, speaking of terrifying fucking people.
Oh,
Oh, Audrey Sanafa, or whatever the fuck her name is. Love
Who's
that
that?
girl. Scary as hell. A terrorist and his wife. BBMC back in the day. During the war and stuff, I think. Terrifying, gorgeous woman. Way too much woman for me to handle. Holy fuck. I don't know how he does it.
okay. Did you meet Seamus McCarthy that day at the hospital?
At the hospital?
At the hospital, in the area of the hospital? Yeah.
Yeah, I talked to him for a minute about the bruise on my face before he left.
And where did you meet that individual?
The answer was in
Emergency
your
lane.
question, Doc. You just said it was in the hospital.
Emergency lane.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, much, yeah, thank you. And it was about you said the bruise on your face? Yeah.
Hey, you know what happened to you today? Minus what they did to you after the fall. So our mountain rescue car rode me down the mountain instead of me riding it.
Oh. Yeah, that
Entire
happened.
left side of my face was horribly bruised, and I was telling him about the whole affair. Bitching about it, you know?
Okay. So you met with Seamus.
Briefly, yeah.
What was he wearing at the time?
I have no fucking idea, dude. I don't pay attention to fashion. Clothes. Nothing.
As you can tell by how she's dressed.
I was cold. Haven't eaten in like 4 days. Leave me alone.
Exactly my point was you went for function over fashion.
Yeah. It's clothing. Nothing horrendous that stood out. Awful fucking beard of his. You know, standard.
Okay. And would you say he was blacked out?
Are you allowed to say that nowadays?
Robin.
In terms of the way he was dressed?
Oh.
I mean, would you consider me to be blacked out right now?
I mean, probably not with that mask on or something. Or a hat at least down.
Probably not then, no.
Okay. Then I have to ask why you said to an individual on the phone that he was blacked out for your safety. What does that mean?
Who said that? That seems like speculation, isn't it? Wasn't that what we were talking about earlier? Speculating on things?
No speculation here.
I assume you're not giving us the entire quote, but does the quote give a time frame of when that may have been referencing? Because it may have been referencing another time. For all we know.
No, it was this moment that your clients were referencing. Why would you say that, Chief? Why was he blacked out for your safety?
I don't know that I did say that.
Well, given this was before the incident, I'm questioning, why your safety would have been in question. After the incident, it's pretty obvious, but before the incident, I have to question. If you're just friends and there's nothing to it.
Why are you assuming that I'm the one who's in danger?
Because that's what you said there.
No, but someone could have danger following them and thus bring it around them.
Certainly possible. That's why I'm asking why you, Chief, said that.
Again, I don't believe Miss Toussaint is confident that she did say that. Perhaps the person on the phone may have believed she said that, but you know.
Yeah, I don't recall that.
You don't recall? Okay. Okay. Do you recall saying, I'm taking Lifeline out. If you guys love me, you won't question it. You remember saying that to people in the emergency lane?
No.
You don't?
No, I don't.
Interesting. Okay. Thank you, Gunnar. I appreciate it.
10-4. Anybody else need food?
Could use some.
I got you.
No, sir.
Gonna say hi to the recording so everybody knows who you are. Hey guys, this is Gunner.
Hi, this is 004 State Marshal Gunnar Kane. She's coming in, giving
4
some
is a good
food.
number.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I am 44. Appreciate the food, thank you.
Thanks, Gunnar.
Adios.
Okay, Chief. Do you recall saying, I'm not hot dropping someone on a building for no reason at all? Do you remember saying something along those lines? Yeah.
No.
So you didn't tell anybody you were doing this then?
Doing what?
Dropping somebody on the roof of City Hall?
I'm the chief. I don't have to tell people that I'm doing anything that involves my certs and my purview.
Sure, but I'm asking, did you tell anybody you were doing it?
And the answer to what we can recall.
Nah.
Sure, just speak up for the record, please.
I said nah.
No, you didn't tell anybody you were doing that?
No.
So you told
Don't need
no EMS on duty?
No.
Just to clarify. And nobody, you told nobody off who was off duty or anybody else?
No.
Okay, just clarify. The individual you dropped on the roof, did you have any phone communication with them that day? Yeah.
I have no idea. It's
To
been
assist,
quite a few days.
sure, yeah, it's been 8 days now. To assist with the investigation, Chief, would you be willing to
No.
consent to? You let me finish. Would you be willing to consent to a phone subpoena?
No.
Okay.
There's privileged information between me and my lawyer regarding several things.
Well, that could be excluded from the subpoena, of course. So. Would that change your answer?
No. Some embarrassing shit in there. You ever seen Reese Harper try to flirt?
I'm sure Reese wouldn't mind.
I would. I don't want people knowing he said that kind of stuff to me and me having to go, ugh.
What is your relationship with Seamus McCarthy?
How is Seamus relevant?
How is Seamus relevant? Because you dropped him on the roof.
Thought you didn't know who was on the roof. I'm confused.
No, I do, but you haven't told me who it is yet.
Well, you did say you need to know.
That's correct.
Seems you do know.
Part of an
Like-
investigation, yes. No, I didn't lie.
I don't need to know something I already know, Richard.
Yeah, well, you know, I throw in the term know a lot because I'm a know a lot. Doesn't necessarily mean I can prove it, does it?
Uh-huh.
So, Seamus, what's your relationship with Seamus?
Friends.
Just friends, yeah. That's it.
Mhm.
What's Seamus's relationship with ADMC at the minute? You aware?
Fuck if I know.
You're unaware of his relationship with ADMC?
With ADMC, I had no idea.
Are they at war?
Not as far as I know.
When he came to the hospital that day, blacked out, as you said, was that for your safety or his?
Guess you'd have to ask him, wouldn't you?
I'm asking you. This isn't a
I
court of law.
can't fathom the
This isn't a
mind of
court of law.
man.
You don't have to speculate.
Yeah, I can't
You're
fathom
asking
the
me
mind of a
to.
man.
Yeah, but again, this isn't a court of law.
You say like this wouldn't end up in a court of law.
No, I said this isn't.
Yeah, but what?
We all know where this is intended to go.
Yeah.
Better to cut down the speculation now than if it does hit the court of law than me pointing it out in my closing statement.
Okay.
You have to ask him, I guess.
All right. So just to clarify for the record, you met with an individual. You met with Seamus McCarthy at the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
and then did this other friend turn up to come up in the helicopter with you?
Next question.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go down this road again, which I didn't want to go down, but I need the name of the individual you brought to the roof.
You already said you know who it is, Richard.
I need the name of the person who brought that person up to the roof for my
brought the person up?
investigation. Yes,
Who flew the helicopter?
No, I need the name of the person you brought
That's
up to
what
the
you
roof.
just said. You just said the person who brought them up to the roof. That's why I'm confused. I was like, I thought you knew who flew the
Okay,
helicopter.
I'll clarify. I need the name of the individual you brought to the roof of City Hall.
And again, Mr. Son, you do not need to tell him that.
That's not true. The individual that you brought to the roof committed a crime. If you don't tell me the name, you will be committing felony obstruction of justice.
No, she won't, Richard. We both know that invoking your right to remain silent is not felony obstruction.
I will be deferring to my lawyer.
I made this a case law before the Constitution happened. Don't make me make it happen again.
I don't want to see this play out in court, because it's not going to go well for your client, Robin.
Is that so?
I came here today to give you a chance to tell your side of the story, Chief. And all you've given me is, next question, I don't know, a lot of aggression and agitation. And I don't really understand why. You're the chief of VMS.
I just told you
You're a
why.
leader, and you are supposed to be held accountable and hold yourself accountable.
I've told
And
you why multiple times.
all
You're just
I'm
not
coming in
listening
here
to
is
me.
questions. You haven't told me nothing.
Mr.
Not
Son,
listening
he's
to
trying
me.
to get a
You haven't
rise out
told
of
me
you to make
nothing.
you
Yeah,
slip
no,
up.
here's the only rise he's gonna get out of me. I've told you that I won't tell you things that are gonna get me fucking shot because you're not gonna fucking protect me, Richard Dark. You're not gonna fucking protect me.
Why would you need protecting?
You're asking stupid questions. You're smarter than that. First of all, I'm not gonna tell you anything I think that might lead to me getting shot because I don't trust the police to keep me safe because they
Why
don't
did you do
keep
it in
me
the
safe.
first place if you were worried about getting shot?
Told you why I did it. You just don't like
Is
the
it because you
answer.
have romantic relations with Seamus McCarthy?
Don't answer that. I mean, you already have, but
you just don't like the answers you're getting.
Is there another reason why you brought him up there?
We haven't established that she did.
Did he pay you? Did he force you? Or did you just do it because you thought it was okay to do?
Robin, do you think the marshals will follow up on this one because it's a government employee getting in trouble, or you think they'll let this one drop like they did when the raiders shot down and almost killed 2 EMS?
Unsure. They seem to protect Mason Dixie's. I remember Ray Lee being like, well, step one is done. We've handled the business with Mason Dixon, the ADMC. Next up is the police, and he has not been seen since. In fact, it took the mayor's office to put an injunction on his funeral and submit a FOIA for all the reports for any of it to even happen. The police may say they try to protect people, but unfortunately they fail at every opportunity. Do I wish it were better? Sure. But unfortunately it isn't. And the recommendation I would say to any of my clients in putting their trust in the police to protect them is let someone else try first.
Yeah. Yeah, let someone else try first there. It's a good one. All right, well, I guess, is that it? No further information you want to provide, Mr. Toussaint?
Fuck Ray Lee. Dog shit at his job.
Okay.
Craig's really good at his job, though. Shame Craig's not here.
I think you should be happy Craig's not here. Okay. Just to clarify for the record, you know what? I'll ask the question. Did you consider the consequences of your actions before you did this? Before you took someone to the roof of City Hall? Specifically, Seamus McCarthy?
Don't answer that as I was asking you to confirm something that you haven't confirmed thus yet.
Defer to my lawyer.
I'll remove the Seamus McCarthy part then, because I'm interested. Did you consider the consequences of your actions when you took someone to the roof?
I'm unsure as to what consequences you'd be referencing anyways.
That's a no. Did you take an oath when you became the chief of VMS?
No.
None
We
at
don't
all.
have an oath. We don't have an oath as an EMS. We don't do with your actions, not by saying a bunch of fancy words and then letting your fucking fellow cops get shot in front of you anyways. Or whatever the fuck it is that was in the... I watch cops just fucking ignore all the time.
You didn't the oath of office for like the government and the PD is what, useless is what you're saying?
No, I think it's a great oath when there's people who want to uphold it, but unfortunately you guys have a problem with people who want to uphold it. There are some very good cops, and there's a lot more very useless dog shit cops who don't protect the people who help them out.
What have the cops got to do with this whole investigation?
Nothing. You're just whinging about me not helping you out and explaining why.
Okay. Are you someone you would consider would hold herself accountable?
If I did something wrong, yes.
I think if she wasn't, she would still be the chief of EMS unsuspended.
Did you suspend yourself on your own or by your lawyer's recommendation?
I told Robin I was going to do it because if that fucking when that defamation hit the thing and it said that there was an investigation, I said if there was one, then I will suspend pending investigation as per standard. Still waiting on the investigation part.
Just to clarify, you believe you've done nothing wrong?
Mm-hmm. But someone being looked into and innocents are not mutually exclusive, right?
Sorry, say that again?
So just because someone's innocent doesn't mean that someone's not looking into them, right? Like, it's happened before.
Sure, yeah. Happened.
And it'll happen again. It's not a expectation of guilt. Just a take the time you need to do to get it handled.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to add to the record there?
I believe she did that when she said "fuck Rayleigh."
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Oh God, for real, for real.
Can you just flash me your ID real quick?
Me or her? Okay.
Holds
Thank
up
you.
ID,
And
narrates it for the
can I get your phone number as well, please?
so you can subpoena my phone.
Probably for a multitude of things, yeah.
What, are you going to be the next in line to flirt, Pauline?
Say that again, Robin.
Said, are you going to be the next in line to flirt, Pauline?
Oh God,
Given that
he's a
Reese
married
Harper
man.
already has.
I really like his husband.
Nah, I'm married. Sorry, can I get their phone number, please, Chief?
Sure, I'm a public servant.
What does that mean to you? Public servant, I mean.
My job is to scoop people up in their worst, darkest days and get them living enough to get them to the hospital so they can be saved. And no matter how many back to back calls it is, and how you're bleeding on your feet and your face is bruised, and you are dealing with people getting blown up, and PD won't tell you what's going on, but you're the one who has to stick your hands in a fucking judge's chest and massage his fucking heart to keep it going. And you still go to work the next day. And when PD screams at you because they're having a breakdown over the plague, it's so sad. But they didn't give a fuck 2 weeks ago when it started hitting the hospital, and they only give a fuck because their friends are hurt. But you still go to work because it's not the people's fault. You still go to work. You still pick people up. And even when someone shoots one of your medics, you still go to the call and you still pick them up and you still bandage them and you still tell them it's going to be okay. You're not going to die. I'm here. And sometimes you lie to them. You say it's going to be okay. I'm here. It's okay. It's going to stop hurting. It's okay. And it's not okay. And they die. And you wake up and you go to work the next day because the next person needs you.
Very honorable thing to do. Is there a intention for EMS to remain neutral?
Isn't that true for all emergency services?
Not quite as much as EMS. That's my knowledge.
I don't know, if a firefighter didn't, come hose down my house because I sued one of his friends, I'd be pissed.
Doctors are true neutral, right? EMS or PD leaning. It's known.
Is there anything about neutrality in the SOPs?
I'd have to reference them.
I mean, just to the best of your knowledge, I guess.
To the best of my knowledge at this moment in time, I have no idea. It's...
You don't know the SOPs yet?
Do you know the SOPs by heart? Every single word?
I know, a big part of my job, like neutrality, yeah.
No, because see, what you're doing is you want me to say something and it's not going to be the right wording, and I don't want to, without looking at it, I'm not saying shit because I don't want to get pulled into a pedantic-y thing of, well, actually, it says.
I don't know the exact wording of Terryville, Ohio, but I can tell you what it is. So I guess I'll ask you again. You know, in your opinion, as the chief of EMS, are EMS to stay neutral? And what does that mean?
I feel like if you had, I mean, she just said that the whole, you get up and then you go to work the next. I mean, she did it pretty eloquently, in my opinion.
That's not neutrality, though. That's just the job.
Well, the part about, someone shooting her, but she still goes to the call and says you're going to be okay and helps. I mean, that seems pretty neutral.
Again, we're not in a court of law, Robin. There's no Ashton ain't said that.
I mean, every time an EMS snitches to PD on someone, that's breaking neutrality now. Every time they go, hey, PD, your 95's at the hospital. Hey, PD, I saw the guy you have a warrant on. That's breaking neutrality.
I don't know. You tell me. I'm not the expert. I'm not an EMS. I don't have to worry about this stuff. So what is neutrality for EMS, and what does it mean on a day to day?
Neutrality is you treat them regardless of the circumstances. That's what it is. It's because every individual EMS is allowed to make a decision on where they stand. Are you going to tell PD if you see they're missing 95, or are you going to keep it to yourself? Because sometimes telling PD that Flippy is at the hospital in cuffs still gets you shot in the face and another medic shot with you.
Okay. And how does it affect non-medical situations? Is there neutrality there? I guess I'll clarify. Let's say you've got an on-duty EMS, but they're not in a medical situation. Do they still have to remain neutral, or can they have, bias? Yes.
They're allowed to be persons, yes. Still a person with opinions, regardless of the uniform. It's about what you do when the time calls for it.
Okay.
And you put that bias, you shelve that bias and do what you've got to do to get that person alive into the hospital, or alive and on their feet, or you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
Nobody is actually true neutral, right? That's an impossible ask. We don't live in a vacuum.
True. I don't know whether you know this already, but I'll tell you anyway. There have been some quite hostile feelings towards EMS. Are you aware?
In regards to what?
Following May 18th.
Sorry, can you see who that was? My ears went a bit weird for a second.
I don't you say the whole thing again?
I heard, I heard someone is hostile or something.
ADMC.
Right. Okay.
Have been hostile towards EMS following the date of the incident. Were you aware of that, Chief?
Someone told me that, and then somebody told me it wasn't true, so I don't know who I believe. Because somebody told me that it was happening, and then somebody else said, no, they've been just as nice to us as usual. I've had no problems with them.
Well, I think I got the prior information. Okay. And specifically, what I was told anyway, was that they were being, we'll say, not so nice to EMS because of your actions that day. Does that surprise you at all?
It's a 1% MC. What they do on any given day is subject to the whims of their mood, or woke up in a bad mood, or who's on what side of the bed. I can't speak for why they do anything, to be honest.
Do you think... Strange question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Do you think if they were frustrated or angry around your actions, do you think they would be valid to be that way? Think they have a right to feel like that?
What a strange question. You asking me if I'd invalidate other people's feelings, even if I believe that there's nothing for them to be cranky about? Everyone's allowed to be upset. It's not on me to police what they are and aren't upset about, or tell them if it's valid or not.
Okay, I'll ask you a different question. Going back to that day, before the helicopters even pulled out, and you've got this situation put in front of you, where you know that if you do this following action, ADMC might get mad at EMS, and we know what happens when ADMC get mad. Would you still do it?
You asking if I had knowledge that they would be mad about something, or are you asking if I did have knowledge that they would be mad
If
about
you
something?
did, if you knew, would you have done it?
I think her answers throughout, the whole I'm not going to say it because it'll potentially get me shot, it seems to, as I would assume the answer to this question follow that same logic.
Is that true?
Yeah, I trust whatever Robin just said.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here because I think you're a good person who does a lot of good for a lot of people, and I don't think you would willingly put people in danger. I think I'm right about that, right? So I think if you were given that situation, on the roof, let's say, I think you knowing that ADMC would have got angry at EMS, you wouldn't have done it. I don't think you would have done it. Which makes me think that, maybe you didn't know what was going to happen. Maybe it was just a simple mistake. And if that's the case, then if there wasn't if it was a spur of the moment thing, like if this is not a romantic comparison. If I went and grabbed the jetpack and, took my husband on a carpet ride like bloody Aladdin around the city, and then, ADMC got mad because I flew over their block and then shit kicked off, I wasn't thinking in the moment, But that doesn't mean I had bad intention.
I'm imagining the carpet ride.
Yeah, it'd be lovely. But what my point is...
Those things are death traps. Don't take your husband on there. Like Rose, don't let him die.
Okay, I appreciate the advice. My point is, I think you would never put your EMS in harm's way on purpose, knowing the consequences.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
Since when does a 1% MC control the realms of the ideas of a government entity? I know this is America, but do we negotiate with terrorists or whatever the fucking quote is?
How do you mean? Explain the whole thing, because I'm not really understanding.
Why are we so fussed about how a gang thinks a government entity should run? Would you let them tell you what to do with PD? Or the marshals?
They usually haven't told me, or, that's my knowledge, anybody how to run anything.
Why are you so fussed about them being fussed?
Okay, I'm gonna answer your question with a hypothetical.
Mm-hmm.
If who's a good cadet? If Carmine was still hired, and if
let him die.
If Carmine walked down to the ADMC block,
it's my arch nemesis, bro.
If Carmine walked down to the ADMC block on his